No, no, no. We're losing them. We're losing them. Somebody help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's too late. It's too late. We've lost them. We've lost them. Oh my God. We've got you back. We literally brought you back to life. We lost you there for a minute. You were taken in by all the spin and the misinformation thrown out there by the media and the governments about electric cars, these EVs. You were falling for it, but we managed to give you electric shock therapy and bring you back to life, because there's lots of information out there about electric cars. We're told that these things are the future. Well, believe me, they're not the future. Do not fall for it again. And only you can save yourself from being led like lambs to the slaughter down that road. Don't do it. Follow me today, because if you've seen my channel and you're regular to the channel, then you'll already know you've seen me drive from John O'Groats to Land's End in this car and done many a journey around the UK, showing what an absolute nightmare it is to own one of these cars. And in today's vlog, we're going to try and bust the myths, misinformation and fallacies surrounding electric cars. Now, I will say that this is just my view on electric cars, and I could be wrong. I have to say that, but like my old man used to say, I've only ever been wrong once, and that's when I thought I was wrong, but I wasn't. And today we're going to drive down to Torquay on the south coast, bust all this information, have a little chat, and I'm going to show you what an absolute nightmare it is to own one of these things. Don't do it. If you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos, share this video all over social media, give it a thumbs up, push it out there, and let's save other people from having to get electric shock therapy. Now, without further ado, my friends, let's go. Oh, right, so we're on our way to Torquay, which is on the south coast. We're leaving Mansfield now. We've been driving, I've done about 5 miles. Now, I got back to the office in Mansfield last night at 4:45 in the afternoon from Leeds, where my family lives, my girlfriend and my children live. I charged the car up. I thought I'll charge the car up. I'd got down to 14% battery left. And I plugged it in, got the charger there just outside the office, and it said it will be fully charged, I think about 5:30 in the morning to get a full charge. So over 12 hours to get a full charge. Now I've got a full charge. Well, I'm down to 95% now because I've driven a few miles, and don't forget, in winter you get way less mileage, so I've got a range now of 245 miles at 95%. Now, that's not a lot at all. In summer it's a lot better. I've said before, in winter months your range is drastically reduced by the cold weather. Now, thinking about this, the amount of time that it gets to charge a full charge, I rung Sarah back at home and I said, I'm going to stop in Mansfield overnight, charge my car here. She said, that's fine, no problem, everything's all right. But then I thought to myself, what if there's an emergency? What if I need to get back to Leeds? It's 86 miles to Leeds from Mansfield, and I'm not fully charged. What am I going to do? And I can hear the EV community out there, the evangelists who think it's all for the greater good.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
Saying, well, you can just, you should have thought about that. You should plan and blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't let it get that low. You can go to a fast charger. Even if I went to a fast charger, it still would take me nearly an hour to charge the car to full, and then I can hear them already saying, oh, well, you only probably need to get 80 odd miles in it, it'll take you half an hour. that's half an hour that I might not have if there was an emergency. So that is one downfall as well. Anyway, on today's journey, we may not make it in one go to Newquay, probably won't, with the stops that we need to do to charge. Going to go to Birmingham to film. I'm filming an Indian restaurant there, which will be in another vlog, where Tom Cruise ate at, and also Ed Sheeran's eaten at as well, so I'm looking forward to that one. Now we're going to go there. I'm going to park up, and I know what you're going to say, you should park up and find somewhere with a charger, but there's nowhere around that area with a charging point, and I haven't got time to start driving around looking for charge points, so we're better off charging on the motorway or along the way. So I'll probably just park up and do that. So lots of other things to go through with you as well, so don't go anywhere. We'll probably stop off along the way as well. So it's going to be an interesting and eye-opening journey, this one, all the way to Newquay. Anyway, come on, onwards my friends. Now then, let's bust a few myths, misinformation and fallacies, shall we? And pop your comments in the comment section down below as well, because you might have more information than I have as well, and also you might be one of the people that can actually bust some of these myths, misinformation and fallacies. You might be we're going to talk about fires, etc., with electric cars. You might be a firefighter, so you can tell us all about that. We're going to talk about the national grid, being able to you know, charge all these electric cars. You may work for the national grid, so if you do, pop it in the comment section down below. Now, first of all, you know, every car manufacturer now, they're all going to go electric. No, they're not. No, they're not, because Toyota, the largest automotive car manufacturer in the world, are not going all in on electric vehicles. They're looking at other ways of you know, going carbon neutral or whatever it is, and all the net zero stuff. They're looking at other ways. They're looking at hydrogen. They're looking at well, various different ways. You can Google it anyway. So not every car manufacturer are looking at going all electric. You're being told that by the news and by the media, because that's what they want to spin to you, and they want you to believe it. Well, don't believe it, because Toyota aren't all in on that. However, like I say, they are looking at going you know, carbon neutral or whatever, and making it better for the environment, more environmentally friendly options, because really batteries in electric cars aren't, are they? So comments down below. Anyway, come on, onwards. Now, I've said before, I'll say it again, and I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat. I'm not into conspiracy theories. You know, I haven't got time for all that rubbish. But what I have said before is that these electric cars and EVs are all about restricting our freedom of movement. And I've seen the comments, and people have said, oh, have you got your tinfoil hat on, and blah blah blah, you know. But I'm kind of being proven right. Now, I have a lot of viewers over in Switzerland, and I've been reading reports, and I've also had messages from people, from my friends over in Switzerland who watch the channel, and they've said, you do realise that our government is restricting the movement of electric cars there, and because they've got energy shortages, so they're going to restrict charging of your electric cars. over there in Switzerland. Now, it started in Switzerland, and I'm pretty sure that it'll end up in the UK and the US as well, and we'll be told when we can't charge our cars. In fact, I'm pretty sure, and again, this is where I want you, the viewers, my friends out there, to bust these myths, misinformation and fallacies surrounding electric cars, because I've had people and viewers who watch over in Los Angeles, and they've said the same thing. They've said, oh, we've been told that we can't charge our electric cars at certain times because it's too hot. It's too hot, so you can't charge your electric cars, and apparently it's having an impact on the grid. Pop it in the comment section down below. Do your research. Let's get this information out there, because it's just absolute madness. You can't charge your electric car because we're running out of power. You can't charge your electric car because the grid can't handle it because of the heat. What next? Because it's too cold? Well, you know, electric cars, they're not that great in the cold, are they? People in Canada will already know. Anyway, come on, let's get a move on. Need to get to Birmingham. You know, what I find really amusing is these evangelists, these EV clan, who think it's for the greater good.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
Pack it in with that. These are the kind of people that literally superglue their head to the roads so that people can't get by on the M25, and hang from gantries and eat tofu. I mean, who eats tofu? That stuff is bloody awful. And these are the kind of people that are telling us that electric cars are the future. Well, I've actually had a few people write into me and email me who has electric cars, who's had the same experience as me. Especially one guy who wrote me a long email, and he said he's been really upset about it because he bought himself an electric Mini, and he said the range on the electric Mini is terrible. I think he was getting 110 miles range out of a charge or something. If you've got an electric Mini, pop it in the comment section down below. Hopefully you don't eat tofu either, or have an affinity to sticking your head to the M25's carriageway. But apparently he said it was awful range, and he's trying to get out of the lease agreement that he's got. He said to the garage, it's not, his words were, it's not fit for purpose. I mean, this thing is getting a little bit better range, but it's a massive car. This car is a lot bigger than what you think, and it is very, I think it's over 2 ton. Pop it in the comment section down below. And you think if this car at the moment isn't paying any taxes, and it's ripping up the roads more than a petrol or a diesel car would do. By the way, we're on 80% battery. We've got 184 miles of range, and range anxiety is real, by the way. Once you get down to about, I'd say about 80 miles, then you start to get range anxiety. Anyway, there's a little rant. I hope I haven't got any blooming tofu in my food today. Ugh, it's horrible stuff. It's like eating spongy rubber. Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Move! These lorries! By the way, I've got a lot of lorry drivers that watch, so I'm only kidding. But you've just spent 5 minutes there trying to overtake this big lorry. Come on, highway maintenance, move! I'm an electric car. I've got more right to be on the road than you, because I'm spewing out less emissions. Move your diesel, horrible diesel spewing, world-killing vehicle out of the way. That's it, get out of the way. Whew. See, these electric cars. I mean, that stress, along with an electric car, it will kill you. You know, it's amazing really, isn't it, how we really are like lemmings and sheep sometimes, being led to the slaughter, and we listen to their lies over and over and over again. I mean, if you go back to diesel cars, Gordon Brown over in the UK telling us that diesel cars were better for the environment, and if you have a diesel car we'll give you tax benefits, etc. And then all of a sudden, years later, diesel cars are the dirtiest things ever and they're bad for the environment. Yet we were taken in by that, and how quickly we forget the lies and deception that we were fed. And it makes you wonder now with the EVs and the electric cars and the facts and the spin that we're being fed, the spin that we're being fed about these electric cars, and we're falling for it yet again, walking like lambs to the slaughter. And I've said, you know, personally, and these are just my opinion, right? They're just my opinion, and I could be wrong. Let me get over into this lane here. It makes you wonder though, doesn't it, whether it is all about restricting your freedom of movement, and they don't want you to move freely, and only the rich and the multi-billionaires who still drive around in their massive gas guzzling big diesel 4x4s. If you look at the ministers and the politicians, they're not in electric cars. You know, a couple of them might have electric cars as a second car just to give it a bit of spin, but they don't. Have a look at the Mayor of London, see what he's driving in. Pop it in the comments section down below. But it's absolute madness that we still keep falling for all this spin. I don't understand it, why we keep doing it. And you're going to question why I have an electric car. Well, I have an electric car because I'm a bit of a tech head and I love all the latest technology, and I thought, you know what, oh, look at all the screens in there, I'll get one and test it out, only to find out that they're crap basically. I'm leasing this, luckily, so I can hand it back at the end of the lease and get a real car with an engine, a car that's got soul and feeling and that you can have passion about. Because this thing, I mean, it's literally like a mobile phone. You don't get passionate about a mobile phone, you throw it away and swap it for the next one, don't you? Whereas cars, they should be about passion, and this isn't. It's soulless. Anyway, come on, let's stop the ranting and get to Birmingham, then we can get onwards to the south coast. You know, I will admit, in certain situations, an electric car is a great idea. I mean, if you are somebody who only travels a few miles around town, then great, it's fantastic. I mean, if that's all you're doing and you never want to go on a long journey, and some people don't go on motorways, they don't like doing long journeys, then it is a fantastic idea, and it can work out at the moment cheaper if you're charging at home. However, God, this road's bumpy, isn't it? Maybe they should spend some money on this road. So in certain situations, yes, I will agree, electric cars are a good idea, but in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, no, they're not, and they're not cheaper either. And the interesting thing is, I used to have lots and lots of people, God, this road is terrible. I used to have lots and lots of people message me going, oh, it's way cheaper to own an electric car, it's way cheaper. And as of late in these EV videos, I've not really had any of that, because they're not cheaper anymore. Work out the cost of an electric car, the initial outlay, work out now the price of electricity, because it is doubling. I mean, it's insane, the cost of electricity at the moment, and energy prices. So it isn't cheaper anymore to own an electric car. And now, as I said in the last video that I did, we've been hit with, we're going to be paying vehicle excise duty, is it? This road tax, isn't it, basically? And now we're going to have to pay that. Electric car owners are going to have to pay it. I think, is it from 2025, isn't it? So that's wiped the smug grin off the EV clan, hasn't it? Who say it's for the greater good. Yeah, put that tofu in your mouth and chew on it. I don't know whether you saw that there, clean air zone. So if you haven't got a car, if you've got a car that spews out lots of emissions and you have to pay online, it's a fully clean air zone. You can pop it in the comment section down below, give people a little bit more info on it. But basically, if you've got an electric car, you don't have to pay that clean air zone. It's a clean air zone in operation there. Another way of pushing us, last exit before the clean air zone, another way of pushing us into all electric cars, into something that we don't really want to do, into restricting our freedom of movement. And that is what it is all about, but we're too blind and blinkered to see it. All these things, they all add up. Clean air zone, electric cars which are overpriced and more money, so only the rich really will be able to afford an electric car. Let's push everybody else into public transport. Let's put more bus lanes in, more bike lanes in as well, because they want you to be on buses, they want you to be on bikes. They don't want you to have a car. They don't want you to have an electric car at all. They just don't want you to drive. They don't want you moving around. I mean, it may be just me, and I may be wrong, I have to say that, but, you know, do you agree with me? Pop it in the comment section down below. Clean air zone, Birmingham City Council. Council rules. Council rules. I mean, let's be honest. Clean air zone again. There's signs everywhere. These are the people who are putting this into force. I mean, they're not wired up, are they? They're still in the 1970s, wearing their brogue brown shoes that are worn out with the sole that's hanging off. I need to get over here somewhere, actually. 1 second. I'm going to go into the city centre in my electric car, in my all EV. Move out of the way, you people with exhaust pipes. You know, there's bus lanes here in a lot of cities now. There's bus lanes in Birmingham. Everywhere there's bus lanes, bike lanes. The roads for cars are getting narrower and narrower, and it's crazy because it's all 20-mile-an-hour speed limits as well, and they've literally got cameras everywhere if you go over 20 miles an hour, and it's punishing the motorist. And this is another reason I'm telling you, it's all about control and restricting freedom of movement. And the electric car, the EV, is one massive part of it, one big part of a jigsaw trying to stop our freedom of movement. It's crazy. 20-mile-an-hour cameras bringing more money in for the coffers, for the councils. Right, I need to find a parking space. Bus lane, watch that, don't go in the bus lane. Right, okay, so here we go. Right, I'm going to park up, by the way, here, and I don't believe you can pay by cash anymore. It's card or contactless only. My mother would have been, well, she wanted to know what to do, to be honest. Anyway, I've got one last question before we head off. I'm going to go to, don't go anywhere because we're going down to Torquay, but I'm going to go and film this video at an Indian restaurant where, as I said, Tom Cruise had chicken tikka, and it was so good he actually had 2 of them. He ordered a second dish of it, so that's where we're going to go, and that'll be in a different video. What I want to know is, everybody keeps saying, oh, you know, if everybody in the UK had an electric car, the national grid would not be able to handle it. Now, nobody's actually answered this question. So if you work for the national grid, and funnily enough, I used to know a guy who worked for the national grid, but I don't think I've got his number anymore. If everybody in the UK had an electric car and we all plugged it in overnight, would the grid be able to handle it? I'd like an actual factual answer. If you don't know, don't put it in the comment section down below. Only if you know the actual answer to this. Because the last time I heard, when everybody used to put the kettle on in the commercial break for Coronation Street, the grid used to struggle to handle that. So imagine everybody popping the kettle on, popping an electric car on. I mean, a kettle's one thing, but millions of electric cars, that's another. And also, if you're in a flat, how are you actually going to charge your electric car? Because you're going to have a long lead, aren't you? Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to I did on the last video classic cars from TV series, etc. I'm going to do a few classic cars from times gone by. I'll try and include a few American ones as well, and just reminisce and look at the actual beauty of these cars and the soul that they had, and not just this big mobile phone on wheels. So enjoy this, and I'll see you when I get back. And don't forget, by the way, please share this video and do hit that subscribe button. It's important. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny. And shove the video out, share it on social media, push this out to people, and let's try and wake people up to the fact of this complete and utter massive madness. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of nostalgia. Right, so we're going to try and get to Torquay. I don't think I'm going to make it there tonight because I am going to have to pull over. These might be over a few episodes. It's now 2:55 p.m. in the afternoon. We've got 71% of charge, 186 miles of range. It's 180 miles to Torquay. As I say, I'll probably stop somewhere overnight and we'll have a chat as well. Also, I'll charge up and I'll show you exactly how much it's cost me to charge up as well. Might be a bit dark, so if it does get dark, I apologise, but that's the only problem, isn't it, with winter? It gets dark at 3:54. Oh well, the shortest day is coming very, very soon. I think, is it near Christmas Day? Anyway, come on, let's get out of here and head south. Onwards, my friends. Right, let's bust another myth, shall we? So any firefighters out there who are watching me from anywhere in the world, are there any firefighters? I'm just concentrating on where I'm going. Cameras there for the low emission zone. Little camera, low emission zone, ultra low emission zone ends. Well, I've got an EV. Can't charge me for now. Who bets that low emission zone, when everyone's got an electric car, turns to something else, a city zone charge or something? They'll change it to something. I know you councils. Anyway, so any firefighters out there, I need this question answered, because you see it in the comments section. You see all these things on the news pop up, but you never know whether there's any truth in it, and people will say, you know, oh, it takes months and weeks for these cars to go out, these electric cars, and they burst into flames. And if they burst into flames, there's even one, somebody said, if they burst into flames, you can let me go, thank you. If they burst into flames, they have to, the fire engine and the fire brigade and the fire service, whatever you want to call it now, bring along this massive tub and they drop the car into it, because it's on fire for weeks and months, and that's what you basically hear. So firefighters, anybody know any there must be a fire. I mean, come on, there's 90,000 people now subscribed to this channel. There has to be a firefighter out there watching this channel. Come on, pop it in the comment section down below. Are you a firefighter, and are electric cars a nightmare for the fire service to put out? Pop it in the comment section down below. Lollipop lady, sorry, crossing patrol person, is that what you've got to call it? It's a lollipop lady, isn't it? Hey, we all love a lollipop lady. Anyway, back to business. Let me just go here. We're in Edgbaston, by the way. Cricket. I forgot what I was going to ask you now. It's thrown me with the lollipop lady. What was I going to ask you? Batteries. That's right. So come on, motor manufacturers out there. There must be people who work for motor manufacturers or motor dealers, etc. Not sure about motor dealers though, because you don't always exactly tell the truth, do you now? But people in the know, working in the motor industry, batteries on cars, you hear that they degrade after 2 years. Now that's got to be truthful, because the batteries in your phone and in your computers and any technology degrades after a certain length of time. So surely it's going to cost you more in the long run if you keep these cars, or are they just disposable cars now? Is that what it is? Because we've become a disposable society. Everything that we have, mobile phones, televisions, they're all disposable. And now we're putting cars within that realm as well, that, you know, cars are going to be disposable, because if I kept this for the next 8 to 10 years or even longer. Sarah's had her VW Golf diesel for, must be about 13, 14 years, I guess. It's got to be, yeah, probably about 13 years, because that's how long we've been together. So 13 years she's had that car, and it's still going strong. It's still going strong. This car, in 13 years, where will it be? Comments down below. Now, for those of you that don't quite believe me still about being led like lambs to the slaughter, let me turn this off, there we go, led like lambs to the slaughter and being fed that, dangled that carrot by giving, you know, free road tax or whatever you want to call it for a while, then they take that away from you, and they're basically pushing you, herding you to where we don't want to go, really, to a place that we don't really want to be. There's even bus lanes, right? Get this, bus lanes for buses that electric cars can drive in. You'll see them. There's one in Nottingham on the way to, on the Colic Loop Road, and I could take this car in rush hour, and it gets really busy, believe me. In fact, I might do it on a future video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. I can get in that bus lane in this car and drive smugly, for now, past all the other cars that are lined up, and there's literally, like, I can say literally a lot, don't I? There's, I did that, I noticed that when I started editing it, literally, these cars are lined up for a roughly a mile to 2 mile tailback, and I can drive in the bus lane in this electric car. Where's the sense in that? And I'll tell you what it is, it's another carrot to dangle you and herd you towards the place we don't really want to. Believe me, we don't want to be there, but we're being given no choice. Shall I tell you how to stop this? Don't buy an electric car. Do not do it. Don't buy it. Wake up. I've saved you once already at the beginning of this video. I can't do it again. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm at 65% and I've got 148 miles of range, and we don't want the evangelists and the EV clan who think it's for the greater good.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
Will you stop with that? You know, telling me that you shouldn't charge before it gets to 20% and never charge above 80%. We already know that. It charges quicker when the lower it gets. So I'm going to leave it to get quite low. I don't know, maybe about 20% or whatever. God, that sounds bright. And it's going to snow later on apparently as well. So I'm going to leave it to get down below 20%, and then we'll be able to give a proper, realistic idea of how long, that it actually takes to charge an electric car. We'll do it the proper way. We'll appease the evangelists. They probably won't be able to see this anyway, because they're stuck on the M25 with their head glued to the floor. Come on, onwards, eating tofu. Right, this will probably be the last time that I speak to you until I get to a charging station. 54% of battery left, 126 miles of range that will give me. We've got 135 miles left to go, so obviously I do need to get some charge in this car. So I'll speak to you when we get there, because it is getting dark now and you can't really see me, although that's a bonus really, isn't it? I'll say that before you do. But you know, in summer it's not as bad, is it? Because it's nice weather, you can have a coffee, you can relax in the sunshine, but you can't in the winter. It's raining and snowing and there's no canopies overhead, so you're going to get wet through, you're going to get cold, you're going to get damp. It's not as much fun in the winter time. So half the charging points, I've got some statistics for you on my phone which I'll read to you when we get to the charge point, of how many charging stations and charge points are actually out of order in the UK. It's absolutely unbelievable. So I'll tell you that when we grab a coffee and maybe a little Krispy Kreme. Come on, onwards. Right, I don't know whether you can actually see me very well. So it's come up with please check range. We're down to 22 miles range left. What have we got? Percentage of battery there? 10% of battery, 22 miles of range left. It's now remember this, it's 5:41 p.m. okay, so 17:41 p.m. and we've still got to get on the road again down to I don't even know, I'm so tired I don't even know. Newquay. I'm absolutely shattered. I just want to get down there, but it's 5:41, so let's see how long this takes. Now I know all the EV clan and the evangelists are going to say, well, you should only charge up to 80%, but how daft is that? You want to be able to charge your car fully, don't you? So I'm going to try and give it as much charge as I can, so when I get down to my destination at Torquay, I can get back again as well and around, because I've got a couple of other places to visit. So let's get this charged and see how long it actually takes, and also how much it costs, because of course, I mean, electric cars are cheaper, aren't they, to run? Right, so let's plug this in. Here we go. Okay. Right, that's in the car. Okay, it's now 5:45. £69p per kilowatt. Come and have a look at this. Look at this. Preparing to charge. Almost ready. We're neck. Train. Crikey. Preparing to charge. Almost ready. Not doing anything yet. Got a red light on the actual charge unit. Is this doing it? Got, oh, great, communication problems. Make sure car is turned off and retry. I'm going to put you on there, look. 1 second. Sorry about this. Bad camera work, but... Right, I'm going to try it again. Stay there. Right, put it back on again. Try it again. Says verifying. Charging error. Please check the charging process at the vehicle or the charging infrastructure. Still got a charging error here. Right, stay there, I'm getting my phone. Yeah. Charging error. Just opening up the app at Porsche now. Hang on. Here we go. It says account, messages, charging error. Right, charging error again. I'm not making this up, by the way. You can see. Right, I'll lock the car. Okay, I've locked the car. I've shut the flap. Now I've got to unlock the car, so I unlock the flap. So I've reset the car. Let's try again. Trying. Let's connect it to the car. Fingers crossed. Not looking good because the button's red on there. Almost 10 to 6. If that goes red, then it's not good because that means there's an error. It says preparing to charge, look. Right, this is not ideal. Stay with me, stick with me, because this is what I mean. Electric cars and EVs will be the death of you. Unplugged it again. I'm going to go and try one of the other chargers. Let's go and try one of the other chargers. Let's get in the car. This is fun, isn't it? This is the future. This is the future, my friends. Let's get in. I'll see you. Let's just. I need to get over there. Please check range. Right. Wish me luck this time. Pop that in there. Hang on. Verifying. Setting up communication with the car. Come on. Please don't go red. Preparing setup. Green. Yes! We're in law. Right, okay, so it's now 5:53 and it's charging. And see, I'm not making this up. Right, so it's 6 o'clock. It says the battery will be charged at 7:32. We're at 23%. 7:32. I guess I've got time for a wee and a coffee then, haven't I? And a wee and a coffee and maybe some tofu. Come on. They have some crap in service stations. Them glasses that I filmed the other day that are yellow night vision glasses that no one will ever use, and then them grabbers with, actually I quite like Bert. Is it hey Bert, Bernie, Ernie and Bert, whatever? Anyway, I'll drink my coffee and then we'll get down to business because I've got a couple more things I want to go through with you. So just drink my expensive coffee. Right, God blimey, I'm shattered. I'm just going to go through a few things while we're waiting for the car to charge, because I did say earlier on about half the chargers not working, or a lot of the chargers not working in the UK. Well, Channel 4's programme that investigates dispatchers found that over 5.2% of the 26,000 public EV chargers they looked into were broken. That's 1,352 EV chargers out of action. These findings were confirmed on the ZapMap website as well. As you saw earlier on, one of the chargers that I was using was out of action, wasted 10 minutes of my time or whatever. It also says soaring energy costs could threaten the future of electric cars, experts warn. Industry bosses in Germany say high costs are having an impact on vehicle production and sales, and that electric cars are losing their charm at last. I mean, the only way we can stop this madness, I've said this, is to stop buying into this bullying and stupidity, and stop acting like a flock of sheep being herded to slaughter. I've made some notes here as well. Interestingly enough, a viewer, now I can't validate this, he tweeted me a video on the M1 yesterday around about junction 27, 28, around near the Mansfield junction. There was a car transporter on fire, and I'm told it was a car transporter full of electric cars. Now I can't verify that. I did try and have a look at the video. You might be able to tell me in the comment section down below if I've got I've got the video of it. If I can try and get it onto this YouTube, I'll put it in right here. There we go, managed to do it. So there it is. Have a look into it. Was it electric cars? Because there are reports of a lot of electric cars just going on fire. It's unbelievable. Also, there's I'll put the link to this in the description down below. EV charger designed for UK-wide rollout may never be made. Winner of the government tender was unveiled at COP26 as one that would stand the test of time, and it was going to be like, it was meant to join the red phone box, the London bus and the black cab as a symbol of modern Britain. But basically it's likely to remain on the drawing board after the government admitted it may never be made. So there we go, you see, it's all a load of bunkum really, just to lead us right down the garden path. Like a bunch of sheep. So don't buy an electric car. I mean, look, you'll see exactly how much it's actually cost me to charge this car up in a minute as well. Anyway, I'm going to drink my coffee and I'll see you back at the car. Right, so it is 7:41 now PM. We're at 98% charged, 235 miles of range left. It's saying that it will be fully charged at 3 minutes past 7. I don't think I'm going to wait any longer for 2 more percent. So I'm going to stop it and we're going to see exactly how much it's actually cost. Now remember, this is subsidised by Porsche. I use my Porsche charging card to actually charge this with. So it's actually invoiced from Porsche and through Porsche. So I use that, so it's going to be interesting. I can go onto their app and see how much it is. So let's unplug this thing. Can't get it out. That's what she said. There we go. Right, okay, so I've got my charging session here. It come to £23.68. We've got, it says charge 78.93 kWh. Started at 5:53, and finished at 16:41. So 48 minutes in total to charge, when I could have probably taken 8 minutes and filled up with petrol or diesel or whatever. So yeah, it's a bit of a headache, isn't it? And it's adding extra time onto your journey and undue stress that you don't really need. So going to get back on the road. Got to get down to Torquay for the morning. I'm probably going to stop somewhere in a hotel close by here. Tomorrow there will be a video of me in Birmingham trying out a curry house, an Indian restaurant that Tom Cruise has been to, and said it was so good he ordered 2 chicken tikkas. So make sure you don't miss that one. Also, please do hit the subscribe button. Share this video out on social media. If you've got answers and you know the definitive answers to all the questions that I've gone through and everything that we've discussed along the way, please pop it in the comment section down below. Do bear in mind that these views are just mine on this channel. I may be wrong. You know, who am I? Just a guy from Mansfield, but I do have an electric car, an EV, and I can tell you it is a right nightmare. It's a headache. I don't personally believe that it's the future. You may think different. As I say, it's just my opinion. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the journey. Please join me in the next one, because I am going to be driving along when I get the journey back and go via somewhere else as well. So please join me on that journey on another little road trip. Thanks for watching, and make sure you share it as well. Pop it out there. Share it on your social media. Pop it on your Facebook. Tweet it. Just get it out there. Get the message out there. Unbelievable. Electric cars. They'll be the death of you. Bye bye.